Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimrantasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Supatantikam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Udapadakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Saguna Raghunatham Vidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadudam Parjana Saidam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vidam Sha Ye Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanda Radha Kanda Namostude Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Shabanu Sude Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Anja Kalpatarubhya Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patidanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Budre Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Prajarine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhaktavranda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hariyam Tatsat. So welcome all the devotees for today's Srimad Bhagavad Gita class. We are reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 17.
Hare
Text.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, for the memorizing, the shloka was 18.66, but this one is, I think, 16, the last one, or 17, first one. I forgot.
Okay, so we have to start from 17, right?
Tani Mataji? Last week you were in the class, no? Which is
I didn't attend last class.
Prabhuji, I marked that 16:23, Prabhuji. 16:23.
No, 16:23 finished. 17, you know, we are in 17, no?
Prince has written last week. Yes. 17:10 for the next class, Prabhuji.
10.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Yeah, 10. That's what I had marked.
Yes, Prabhuji. Because of my mark.
17:10, right?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I had marked there.
Yeah, Prabhuji. And 1866, it is for
by heart.
By heart.
Yeah, memorizing. Okay, that will take class after the class. We'll start the class now. Okay. So, Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 17, text 10. Hetayamam gadarasam puti paryushidam chayat uchishtam apichamedhyam bhojanam tamasapriyam. Okay, please, Tarini Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandat Pranam. Yatayamam katharasam bhuti paryushitam chayat uchishtam apisametyam bhojanam tamasapriyam. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna translation, Mayuri Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I think it is also done, I think.
Oh, no, I just read it.
Okay,
That's it.
Prabhuji.
I just read that last week.
खाने से 3 घंटे पूर्व पकाया गया स्वाधीन वियोजित एवं सड़ा झूठा तथा अस्पृश्य वस्तुओं से युक्त भोजन उन लोगों को प्रिय होता है जो तामसी होते हैं.
Very good. So what is food in the mode of ignorance? Tamogun ka food. Food prepared more than 3 hours before being eaten. Food that is tasteless, decomposed, and putrid. And food consisting of remnants and untouchable things is dear to those in the mode of darkness. The purpose of food is to increase the duration of life, purify the mind, and aid bodily strength. Why do we eat food? So first, to get strength, okay? Portion ke liye, duration of life. To purify our existence. So if we want to purify our existence, we have to eat food that is prepared in the mode of goodness, not in the mode of ignorance. Purify the mind and aid bodily strength. Okay, to get strength. So this is its only purpose. In the past, great authorities selected those foods that best aid health and increase life duration. So it should be good for our health and should help to increase our life duration, such as milk products, sugar, rice, wheat, fruits, and vegetables. These foods are very dear to those in the mode of goodness. So only when we eat food that are prepared in the mode of goodness, and that also after offering to Supreme Lord, that will give us strength and increase the duration of life, purify our mind and consciousness. So what sort of items recommended here? Milk products, sugar, rice, wheat, fruits, and vegetables. And some other foods such as baked corn and molasses, while not very palatable in terms of I think this we read, I think, yeah, you're right, can be made pleasant when mixed with milk or, no, I read it for the other class. That's right. Okay. They are also, parallelly in the same chapter, in the same slok also. So they are then in the mode of goodness. All these foods are pure by nature. They are quite distinct from untouchable things like meat and liquor. So meat and liquor, these are all food in the mode of ignorance, untouchable. Animal fat is available in the form of milk, which is the most wonderful of all foods. Milk, butter, cheese, and similar products give animal fat in a form which rules out any need for the killing of innocent. So we should be careful that we should not harm any other creatures, any other living beings for our food. Although Veda says Jivo Jivasya Jivanam, one living entity is dependent, their life is dependent on other living entity. So every one of us has to depend for our sustenance on other living entity. But we, being the highest cadre in the living beings, that is human being, we have been given certain freedom to choose what is right and what is wrong. Animals, as a set path, they are bound to eat certain things and they will not deviate. But since we have been given independence or freedom, little freedom to choose what is right, what is wrong, so we'll have to partake the sinful reaction if we go against the laws of nature. We are given vegetable for our consumption, for our sustenance. We are not supposed to eat anything else. If you do, for our sense gratification, if you violate that, God-given law, then we have to suffer the consequences. So that's why we should not unnecessarily involve in killing innocent creatures just for our palate, just for our tongue satisfaction. It is only through brute mentality that this killing goes on. Okay, if you are brutal, we are cruel, then we will do, and we will have to suffer the consequences also if you do so. The civilized method of obtaining needed fat is by milk. Okay, and some people may say, because we need fat. Okay, fat is also available in the form of cow milk. It's not necessarily animal's flesh is required for us to get fat. Slaughter is the way of subhumans. It's by cruelty only that we are engaging in such unwanted. And it is a total disturbance to the society if we slaughter animals for our food. Protein is amply available through split peas, dal, whole wheat, etc. So proteins, some people say that protein is not available in the vegetables. So Prabhupada says it's also amply available through split peas, dal, whole wheat, etc. So it's not necessary for us to kill animals and eat as our food. That is in the mode of ignorance, and that will pave way for us to suffer in hellish condition. Okay, because it is sinful activities, it's forbidden activities. We are not supposed to involved in such forbidden activities, which will be detrimental for our spiritual advancement. So we should be very careful. If at all we want to advance spiritually, if at all we want to get out of this material existence, we need liberation from this material existence, then we have to eat food in the mode of goodness only, not in the mode of passion or ignorance. So for our liberation, food also plays an important role, important part. So we have to eat food that is made in the mode of goodness and not food that is prepared more than 3 hours, which is rotten, which is untouchable, which are untouchable. So all these things we have to be very careful, because all these foods are in the mode of ignorance. Non-vegetarian in the mode of ignorance. Food that are prepared more than 3 hours, uncooked, untimely. This is all in the mode of ignorance. So we have to be very careful. Foods in the mode of passion, which are bitter, too salty or too hot, or overly mixed with the red pepper, cause misery by reducing the mucus in the stomach, leading to disease. So if we eat food in the mode of passion, it may be very good taste for our tongue. That taste remains, till we swallow that, maybe 5 inch or 6 inch. Once that passes through that, we don't have any, whatever we may consume, we don't know once we swallow that. And what it leads to, it leads for diseases. We may have to suffer the different diseases because we are eating food that are in the mode of passion, which is too salty, too hot, overly mixed with red pepper and other things. That only causes problems for us. Foods in the mode of ignorance or darkness are essentially those that are not fresh. Any food cooked more than 3 hours before it is eaten, except prasadam, food offered to the Lord, is considered to be in the mode of darkness because they are decomposing. Such foods give a bad odor, which often attracts people in the mode, but repulses those in the mode of goodness. So food that are decomposed, food that are not offered to the Lord, they're all in the mode of darkness. Now we have to think what we should do. We should eat food in the mode of goodness, passion, or ignorance. So if we are a spiritual practitioner, definitely we should eat food that are made in the mode of goodness, and we should offer it to the Supreme Lord, and we should partake only the remnants. Remnants of foods may be eaten only when they are part of a meal that was first offered to Supreme Lord or first eaten by saintly persons, especially the spiritual master. So that's what Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. Yatne sishtasino santo muchande sarva kilbishai bhunjade te dogam pavam ye pachandi atma karanat. Okay. So if we are offering the food to the Supreme Lord and when we eat the remnants, and that's okay. If we are not doing that, we are verily eating sin. That's what Krishna says. Such foodstuffs, although very palatable to persons in the mode of darkness, are neither liked nor even touched by those in the mode of goodness. The best food is the remnants of what is offered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Supreme Lord says that he accepts preparations of vegetables, flour, and milk when offered with devotion. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachadi tadham bhakti ubhardam snami prayadatmanaha. Bhaktya, twice it is mentioned, because with love and devotion we have to offer. Then he will sanctify that and convert that into prasadam and give us. Of course, devotion and love are the chief things which the Supreme Personality of Godhead accepts, because he is not after food. It's not the substance that is looking for. He is seeing the attitude behind that offering, the love and devotion. That's what he wants from us. Because everything is given by him only. As a token of love and in reciprocation, we are offering back to him his own things. How? With love and devotion. Just like, as I always say, the children take money from the parents and, buy a flower bouquet or chocolate and offer it to the parents on their wedding anniversary. So it is not the thing, material, the material value that is considered here. It is with what it is given, with what attitude, the love and devotion behind offering that gift. Because it's father's money only. So what's the big thing in that? You take from father's pocket and buy chocolate and give it to him. Isn't it? But here it is given out of love and devotion. That's what Supreme Lord sees. So, but it is also mentioned that the prasadam should be prepared in a particular way. So there are certain conditions that we have to meet. Okay? Before, when we prepare bhoga for Supreme Lord, there are many conditions that we have to follow. Any food prepared by the injunctions of the scripture and offered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead can be taken even if prepared long ago, because such food is transcendental. So if it is offered to the Supreme Lord, this 3 hours criteria doesn't stand any good. Okay, but see that it is not spoiled. So we should keep it only for such a time, that it should not get spoiled. So for every type, every category of food will have certain shelf life. So before it is rotten or before it is decomposed, before it is spoiled, we should consume it. Even if it is prasadam, it's not that, okay, prasadam, after 3 years also we can eat. No, but you should know that if it is kept outside, if it is not good climatical condition, it will spoil. So we should be very careful that we should not let the prasadam spoil. Before that, we should consume. But only thing is, so there is no that 3 hours criteria here. As long as it is good, so we should not waste the prasadam. That's what the main thing. If it is prasadam, we should not waste it. We should consume it before it is rotten or spoiled. We should not allow that to get spoiled or decomposed. Therefore, to make food antiseptic, eatable, and palatable for all persons, one should offer food to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So to make it antiseptic and eatable and palatable, we should first offer it to Supreme Lord. So many benefits. What are the benefits? We will not, because we are preparing food in the mode of goodness, so it will not affect our health adversely, and we will not have to suffer the sinful reactions of not offering to the Supreme Lord and consuming it. Without offering, we are eating food. After offering, we are eating prasadam. So we will not partake any sinful reaction for that. And our duration of life will increase. Health will be better. No diseases. All these benefits are there if you eat prasadam. Okay. Any questions or any comments? So we have discussed food in the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. Now, so accordingly, as per this, what we should do, we should be able to choose what is best for us for our devotional activities. No, this food should not be detrimental for our devotional practices. So, if at all we are eating in the mode of passion or ignorant, we should try to situate ourselves in the mode of goodness. How? By honoring prasadam. So that means bhoga we have to offer to Supreme Lord. Then we should honor the remnants. So to offer to the Supreme Lord, Krishna very clearly says, Patram Pushpam Param Troyam. These are all in the mode of goodness. Okay. So simply following these rules and regulations, we can situate ourselves in the mode of goodness. No special endeavor or effort is required. Just follow the instruction given by Lord Sri Krishna. Yeah. So any questions or any comments?
No, Prabhuji, thank you.
We'll go to the next one. 11. Afalakankshibiryatnyo vidhideshto ya ijyade yashtavyam yeveti manaha samadhaya sa satvikaha. Okay, Saraswati Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Afalakanksibir yajno vidhidishto yaijyate yastavyam eveti mana samadhaya sa satvika.
Ramya Mataji, translation please. No sound, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, it's okay now.
Of sacrifices, the sacrifice performed according to the directions of scripture as a matter of duty by those who desire no reward is of the nature of goodness.
Very good. So now, after different foods items, now Krishna is talking about sacrifices. Okay, yajna. The sacrifices, the sacrifice performed according to the directions of scripture as a matter of duty by those who desire no reward is of the nature of goodness. So what are sacrifices in the mode of goodness? Those according to the directions of scripture. We should not do it whimsically. There are certain rules and regulations for following sacrifices. So we should follow as per the scriptural injunctions and as a matter of duty, not expecting anything in return. Okay. Yajna should be for the pleasure and satisfaction of Supreme Lord Vishnu, not for our pleasure. Yes, definitely we also will get happiness when the Supreme Lord is pleased. So it should be according to the directions of the scripture and as a matter of duty without expecting anything in return. That is no reward. We should not desire any reward. So if we desire any reward for the sacrifices that we do, then it is karmaganda. It's a business. Okay, it's a business deal. Lord is not ready to accept any business deal. He wants pure love, Shuddha Bhakti, without any expectation. Isn't it? Now the children says, there is a deal between parents and children. Parent says, you get good mark, okay, in your studies, in your school or college, whatever it is, then I will bring a bicycle for you, or I'll bring this or that. Is it love or is it deal? It's a business deal. What is it called? It's a business deal, isn't it? There is no love there. So the parents want to satisfy their senses through the children. And children, on the contrary, is asking, Mama, Papa, give me this, then I will do that. Okay. So children also wants to satisfy their senses by striking a deal with the parents. It's not pure love. It's only business deal. You scratch my back, I'll scratch your back. Okay. So here Krishna wants pure love, unmotivated, uninterrupted love. Okay. That is love. How is it? Prabhupada says it is something, compared to the love of a mother to the infant. The infant, the baby, is not expecting anything. Mother is taking care of the baby, putting her in hardship, inconvenience, undergoing all the inconveniences. At night, staying awake at night, cleaning the urine, the stool, changing the pamper and dresses. Is she expecting anything? No, nothing in return, isn't it? That is pure love. But as the child grows, the expectation starts coming, both for the mother as well as the child. But the infancy stage, the child is totally dependent on the mother's, care. Mother is also so attached to the child. Mother wants to give all the comfort to the child. So even at the cost of staying awake at night, without eating and taking all the troubles, she is cleaning and taking care of the baby very nicely, without any expectation. So that sort of love is, decided by the Supreme Lord Krishna. So here, that's why it said, by those who decide no reward, he is of the nature of goodness. So that is in the nature of goodness. So the general tendency is to offer sacrifice with some purpose in mind. So when we go to temple also, most of us, maybe those who are practicing Krishna consciousness strictly, they may not do that. But most of us are going to the temple or going to the Supreme Lord asking something in return, material benefit. If you ask something spiritual, this okay, no problem. Please, request the Supreme Lord, pray to the Supreme Lord, please help us to advance spiritually. That's fine. But you go to the Supreme Lord and ask, you give me a good wife, give me a good husband, good house, good job, good car. These are all, he may give. But then will he give Krishna Bhakti? No. With that, things that he is awarding us, like good car, good job, bonus, salary, and all other such material comforts, we may have to come again and again in this material world. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. So what's the point? The very purpose of human life is to get out of the material existence. So if our worship doesn't allow us to get out of the material existence, what's the use of that worship? So we should worship the Supreme Lord without any purpose, without any hetu, ahaituki, without any motivation. So, but here it is stated that sacrifice should be performed without any such desire. It should be done as a matter of duty. Take, for example, the performance of rituals in the temples or in churches. Generally, they are performed with the purpose of material benefit, but that is not in the mode of goodness. So generally, people go to the temple or church or mosque asking something from their worshipable master. But that is not in the mode of goodness. That is what Krishna says. Krishna wants us to approach him in the mode of goodness, to do sacrifice in the mode of goodness. That is preferable. Only then we can rise ourselves to the mode of pure goodness. One should go to the temple or church as a matter of duty, offer respect to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and offer flowers and eatables without any purpose of obtaining material benefit. So it's clear. Everyone thinks that there is no use in going to the temple just to worship God. So people think that the place of worship is a place just like a supermarket. You go with money, buy a full trolley, various things, pay at the counter and drink. No. Similarly, you go to the temple, make some offerings, or put some money in the hundi peti, ask the Supreme Lord, millions of times, multiple times bigger reward. Okay. Put 10 rupees in the hundi and praying to the next lottery should be, for me. I should be the millionaire. You are putting 10 rupees in the hundi and asking for million in lottery. So that should not be the case. So generally it is the case. That is what here Prabhupada says. We should do without any motivation. Everyone thinks that there is no use in going to the temple just to worship God. But worship for economic benefit is not recommended in the scriptural injunction. People are doing it. It's not prohibited, but it's not recommended. Okay, it's not prohibited, but it's not. Why it's not recommended? So it will delay our advancement, spiritual advancement. So one should go simply to offer respect to the deity. That will place one in the mode of goodness. It is the duty of every civilized man to obey the injunctions of the scriptures and offer respect to the Supreme Personality of God. So it is the duty of every civilized man to obey the rules and regulations that are given in the scriptures and offer respect to the Supreme Lord. Is it clear? Okay, I think I went back. What happened today? Now we started from which verse? 10th only? 10 only? Right, no? Okay, so 12 I have marked. Okay, 12 I marked for the other class. Okay.
Actually, 12 is for us, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu, 12 is for us, huh?
Anyway, repetition.
Yeah, yes, Prabhuji, no problem.
Anyway, repetition. So we started from 10, right? Okay, 10 and 11 repeated. So 12 for us. So I don't know which is theirs. Anyway. Maybe there's also 12. Okay. Totally confused. Okay. Abhisandhaya tu phalam dhambhartam abhichayvayat ijyade bharada shreshta tam yatnyam vidhi rajasam. Okay. Then who else? Who can read? Yes, Tarini Mataji.
Krishna Prabhuji. Abhisandhaya tu palam dampartam abhichayvayat ijjate bharata shreshta tam yajnam vidhi rajasam. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Saraswati Mataji, translation please.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Sometimes, but the sacrifice performed for some material benefit or for the sake of pride, O chief of the Bharatas, you should know to be in the mode of passion.
Very good. But the sacrifice performed for some material benefit or for the sake of pride, O chief of the Bharatas, you should know to be in the mode of passion. So, which are the sacrifices performed in the mode of passion? Those sacrifices performed for our material benefit, just like as we spoke earlier. We go to the temple, put something in the hundipeti, and demanding so many rewards in return. So that's in the mode of passion. So that is not recommended. That's allowed. It is not prohibited. Such worship is not prohibited, but it is a lower mode of worship. The highest mode of worship is in the mode of goodness. So sacrifice in the mode of goodness is what we spoke earlier. Now this is sacrifice in the mode of passion, asking something in return. Okay. Sometimes sacrifices and rituals are performed for elevation to the heavenly kingdom or for some material benefits in this world. Such sacrifices or ritualistic performances are considered to be in the mode of passion. So even if we are desiring for elevation to the higher planetary system, okay, Swargaloka and so on and so forth, that's also considered to be in the mode of passion. Number 13. Vidhinam asrishtanam mandrahinam madakshinam shraddha virahidam yajnam tamasam parichakshade. Okay, Ramya Mataji.
Vidihinam asrashtanam mantrahinam Shraddha virahitam yajnam tamasam parichakshate. Hare Krishna.
Very good. Mayuri Mataji, translation please.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
Very good.
जो यज्ञ शास्त्र के निर्देशों की अवहेलना करके प्रसाद वितरण किए बिना वैदिक मंत्रों का चरण किए बिना पुरोहितों को दक्षिणा दिए बिना तथा श्रद्धा के बिना संपन्न किया जाता है वह तामसी माना जाता है।
Any sacrifice performed without regard to the direction of society. So if we are doing any sacrifice without consulting the scriptures or without following the directions of the scriptures, without distribution of prasadam. So if we are doing sacrifice, we have to see that we offer prasadam to devotees, spiritual food, sanctified food, without chanting the Vedic hymns and remunerations to the priest, and without faith is considered to be in the mode of ignorance. So these things we have to be very careful that we should regard the scriptural injunctions, we should distribute prasadam, we should chant Vedic hymns, and we should pay remunerations to the priest, that is dakshina. Okay, and we should do it with complete shraddha, faith. If not, it will be in the mode of ignorance. So faith in the mode of darkness or ignorance is actually faithlessness. Okay. So faith in the mode of darkness or ignorance is actually what? Faithlessness. Sometimes people worship some demigod just to make money and then spend the money for recreation, ignoring the scriptural injunction. Such ceremonial shows of religiosity are not accepted as genuine. They are all in the mode of darkness. They produce a demonic mentality, do not benefit the human society. So there are so many examples in the present society. People, take advantage of, people who are less educated. They simply, divert the people's mind. Tell them, you give me this much money, I will do a sacrifice, by doing which you will get a lot of benefit, health benefit, money, financial benefit, and so many other benefits. And they cheat. Actually, they cannot do anything. It is only simply cheating to steal money from them. So they all become prey in the hands of such cheaters. Okay. So we should be very careful. So they produce a demonic mentality and do not benefit human society. Whoever says, you please give me some money, I will give you some mantra, and by chanting this mantra, you will get this, you will get that. This is all in the mode of ignorance, and this is all simply cheating business. We should not fall prey to such people. Okay. And they are using this money, for their own sense gratification, in a very sinful way also sometimes. They will indulge in all sinful activities just for their sense gratification. So we will have to partake their sins also in that case. So any questions or any comments? Clear?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, in this shloka, means in this explanation, it is wrote that Purohito ko dakshina diye bina, means, but sometimes, Prabhuji, when we go to the temple like Puri, the pandas, like, they do the business deal, na, Prabhuji? Itna paisa do, to darshan karayenge, itna do. So that is a good thing, Prabhuji.
But as far as we are concerned, we should not see. Lord knows what they're doing. It is there, this thing. But as far as whatever we can give, we should do. Because we are going to the Dham, we are getting benefit. Okay. So we should offer something in return as dakshina. We should not receive anything without giving. We should give in return. Otherwise, there will be no obligation. We are going to the Dham, we are listening to Hari Katha, and we are getting so much of spiritual benefit by visiting the Dham. So some way or the other, we should give in return something for them also. What Pandas are doing, we are not here to comment on them. Why? Because we don't know who they are. Maybe it's God's wish that we should be tested. How we react in such a situation. So we should be very careful while dealing in such situation. Because it's Dham and they're all very closely associated with Jagannath. They're serving Jagannath. Maybe they may be asking some money, extra money, some rude way also. They may be doing in our, perspective. But the Lord knows. They have a very close connection with the Lord, which we cannot make out. So let us forget what they're doing, what they're asking. If it is within our capacity, we should give. Not otherwise, just leave it, say Hare Krishna, leave the place. At the same time, we have to remember this thing that whenever we get some spiritual advice or spiritual sermon or spiritual advice, Arikatha, and some pastimes of Supreme Lord, when some sadhus comes, we should offer them something. Because we are being benefited. We should not be only a receiving end. We should also help them. Actually, they don't want. It is only for our purification. They are not asking. For our purification, it is required. So if you don't do, then we are obliged, we are indebted if you don't give also. So that's why we have to be very careful. So we should not accept anything freely. We should be always feel obliged that because of that person we got this, and I should pay not for him. It is for my own purification that I am giving, and he will not use it for his. He will use it for God's service, Krishna's service, and that will ultimately benefit us only. Atnyasa Suvarvi. Okay. So when I give something to a saintly person doesn't need anything because he is dependent only on Krishna. Once Prabhupada was asked by a reporter, you have so many, big temples and so many things or activities are going on in your society. Who is giving you money? Prabhupada said, Krishna. Again, the reporter thought that Prabhupada did not understand the question. He repeated the question again. Now I want to know, Swamiji, that you have so many big temples, so many activities are going on, farm community, Govinda's restaurant, this and that. Who is giving you money? Prabhupada said, Krishna. Little more. Then the disciples there sitting, Prabhupada, this reporter is, the intention of asking this question is so and so. Our society is running on by the mercy of Krishna, not by anybody else's contribution. If somebody is contributing, they should not think that it is because of them that we are. If they are contributing anything for Krishna consciousness, they are getting benefit out of it. And we are fully dependent on Krishna's mercy. Without Krishna's mercy, nothing will work. We fully depend on Krishna. People should never think that they are supporting us. If they are giving money, they will definitely get the spiritual benefit out of that. So we totally depend upon Krishna like that. So when we are giving money or something, some other things, in kinds also, to others, we will get benefit out of that. Sannyasis doesn't want that. Even without our giving, Krishna will take care of them. Krishna will protect them. Got it? If we don't give, Krishna will arrange through somebody else. So that is what we have to keep it in mind. So we should never think that, if I don't give, they will starve or they will not be able to live. No, Krishna has his own arrangement. If I don't give, somebody else, Krishna will inspire somebody else to give such people, if it is so required. So ultimately, if we are giving something, when we get something, it is for our own benefit. Materially speaking, we think that, okay, I got this free. No, I have cheated that person. I'm successful. No, that will bind us again in this material world, because we are obliged. Now today, I took from some person by way of cheating. Tomorrow, somebody else will cheat me. Isn't it? Is it clear, Madhavi?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Devadvija Guru Pratnya Pujanam Sauchamarjavam Brahmacharyam Ahimsacha Shariram Tapa Uchyate. Okay. Saraswati Madhavi.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Deva Dvija Guru Prajna Pujanam Saucham Marjavam Brahmacharyam Ahimsa cha Sariram Tapa Uchyate.
Hari Bol. Tarini Mataji's translation, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Austerity of the body consists in worship of the Supreme Lord, the Brahmanas, the spiritual master, and superiors like the father and mother, and in cleanliness, simplicity, celibacy, and non-violence. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hari Bol. Now, we have finished food in 3 different modes, sacrifice in 3 different modes. Okay. Now, Krishna is starting here austerity. So, food, sacrifice over. Now, austerity. So, austerity of the body, austerity of the mind, and austerity of speech. Krishna will cover. Okay. Austerity of the body, austerity of mind, and austerity of speech. So here, austerity of the body consists in worship of the Supreme Lord, the Brahmanas, the spiritual master, and superiors like the father and mother, and in cleanliness, simplicity, celibacy, and non-violence. So what is austerity? Means
Tapasya, Prabhuji.
yeah, tapasya. Okay. So taking little inconvenience for our spiritual benefit. So we get up early in the morning, chant our rounds, we observe Yagadashi, okay? Like that, small austerities we have to take. Nothing comes without pain, no gain. So we have to put little austerity. It's not that, no, Krishna is not telling you go to the jungle, forest and meditate there without food and water. That sort of austerity is not desired of us by Krishna. He is asking simple austerity. What is that? We have to worship the Supreme Lord, Brahmanas, spiritual master, and superiors like father and mother. So we says Mata, Pita, Guru, Deva. Right? So we have to consider mother, father, spiritual master as God. Why? They're all respectable. And of course, the Brahmanas. Because they are the people who are in the higher cadre of the society who can give us knowledge. So they should be respected. So, and in cleanliness. And we have to keep our body clean and tidy. Saucham. How can we keep our body clean? By taking bath. Okay? Every day. At least once, twice, thrice, better. Minimum once. So brahmacharis and sannyasis, they take 3 times bath. Like that, we have to keep our body clean. Simplicity. We should not be too much luxurious. We should not use luxury too much. It should be simple. Celibacy. Even in the Grahastha ashram also, we can practice celibacy by regulated sense enjoyment and non-violence. That is ahimsa. So these are the austerity of the body. Okay. So respecting Supreme Lord, Brahmana, spiritual master, superiors like father and mother, and maintaining cleanliness of the body, and simple living, celibacy, and non-violence. The Supreme Godhead here explains the different kinds of austerity and penance. First, he explains the austerities and penances practiced by the body. one should offer or learn to offer respect to God or to the demigods, the perfect qualified brahmanas and the spiritual master and superiors like father, mother, or any person who is conversant with Vedic knowledge, any learned person who is helping us. Okay. These should be given proper respect. One should practice cleansing oneself externally and internally. Externally by taking bath. Internally, how we can clean internally?
Prabhuji, without talking any bad thing about others.
Yeah. Internally, we can chant the holy name and maintain the cleanliness. The mind will be purified by chanting the holy name. Externally, our body with the soap and other things we can clean. But mind, that mind can be purified by chanting the mantra. Okay, and we should learn to become simple in behavior. We should be humble, and our behavior should not be agitating to others. He should not do anything which is not sanctioned by the scriptural injunction. Should follow the rules and regulations of the scriptures. You should not indulge in sex outside the married life. For sex is sanctioned in the scripture only in marriage. So that is also one important thing, that sex life is only within the wedlock. So there is no other mingling of opposite sex. And not otherwise. This is called celibacy. So celibate doesn't mean that only brahmacharis can. Even the grahastha brahmachari we can call. Grahastha brahmachari means grahasthas are allowed to enjoy sensually in a regulated manner. So that's also called, grahastha brahmachari. That's called celibacy. These are penances and austerities as far as the body is concerned. These are all the austerities that one can take, for the body. So any questions or any comments? So next is text 15. So please mark. We should not because
Yes, Prabhuji, I will mark. Prabhuji.
yeah, because I am also confused because the other class is also in the same chapter with the same numbers. So 15. Krishna Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripasantu Vyavacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, गुरु महाराज की जय, Hari Hari Bol.